He's a manifester, kind of like you are.
Having to learn more of the CEO side of the business, which I felt like was quite different from the realtor side. You found a need or a problem even within your own business and was able to now provide a solution to the market.
There we go. Find a solution to a problem and then get in the way. Listen, folks, Chasen doesn't let anything get in his way.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Power Unit Success Cast. I'm your host, Chasen J. Miles, and as always, I'm excited for you to be here. Look, I have a special guest today, and I know that y'all are going to enjoy this episode. But before I get in and introduce our special guest and all that kind of stuff, I want to tell y'all what recently happened to me. Some of you know, if you watch me on Instagram and that stuff, then you know what I was up to in the last couple of weeks. I flew out to Las Vegas. This was on a Tuesday. Flew out to Las Vegas because on that Thursday, I had to speak at an event in front of 7,000 people. 7,000 people. And I was on this huge stage. It was a big moment. And a lot of you know that I speak and I travel around speaking. That is by far my biggest audience that I've ever spoken in front of. And not only that, after that big 7,000, I had to speak on a panel in front of, I would say, around like 200, maybe 300 people. There was a lot of people who couldn't even get in the room. It was so packed. And I'm sharing that experience because, for one, I want to tell y'all just how things have evolved, and where I've been going and taking my career these days. But secondly, just to really paint this picture and show you that, hey, we could be real estate agents. We can work as a realtor in our day to day, or whatever you want to call it. Or you could choose to level up and do bigger and better things. If you've had those dreams of speaking or writing a book, or heck, even creating content, right? Creating YouTube videos, creating TikTok, Instagram videos, you can do that. You have that freedom. And that's exactly what I did in my career. I got the same license that most of you have, but I saw that there was major opportunity in putting myself out there, right? Putting myself out there with content, with social media, documenting my journey. And even though it wasn't pretty, it wasn't the best at all times, just being vulnerable enough to put myself out there has opened doors that I never would have even imagined, right? I never would have even imagined it. And it's afforded me opportunities. It's afforded me a lifestyle. I've been able to build a different type of business these days, all because I was willing to step outside of my comfort zone, right? I mean, that's really what all this is. Even speaking in front of that audience, that was 6,000 people. 7,000 people. I told you, I've never done that before. That was a little uncomfortable for me. It was a new experience, right? People were telling me, oh, you look so comfortable up there. You did a great job. I learned so much from you. They were saying all these great things. And luckily they were saying that because I didn't know how I did. I was like, all these thoughts that come into our mind, when we're stepping outside of our comfort zone. And luckily I had people there to show me what they saw and tell me what they saw and how it helped them and how it changed them. But that never would have happened if I didn't step outside of my comfort zone, right? So something may be uncomfortable. It may not be to the extent of you speaking in front of 7,000 people, right? But when I recorded my first video, when I put my first video on YouTube, it felt like I was talking to 100,000 people, right? It was that uncomfortable for me. And even though nobody was even in the room, So 7,000, one person, 5 people, whatever, it's all uncomfortable. And I've been there. I know that feeling. But I can also tell you that right outside of that comfort zone, that's where greatness happens. Okay, so take that, listen to that again, like this episode, subscribe if you haven't yet. If that just hit you, be sure to leave a comment, and just know that I'm speaking from the heart on that. Okay, I want to bring on our guest right quick. This is exciting. I really like to bring y'all people who are making it happen, high level people, top level people, and today that's going to be no exception. So I'm gonna read off his bio right quick. For 16 years, Ren Jones sold 150 to 180 homes a year by taking 10 to 16 listings a month. If anybody who's ever done that, you know that that's a lot, right? Additionally, he was a highly recognized coach for some of the most successful real estate teams across North America and has completed 34,000 individual coaching calls. Can we just say goals on that? Ren is currently CEO at Vulcan 7, a software program for agents that builds seller business to dominate the inventory. Ren also hosts a show each week called Roadmap. He interviews agents who take lots of listings without requiring a big team or lots of overhead. So I want to welcome to the Power Unit Success Cast, CEO of Vulcan 7, Mr. Ren Jones. Hello, sir.
Hey, hi, Jason. Glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm honored to be on your program.
I'm excited to have you, and I'm excited to hear this value, right? I want to start with the early days. So I mentioned when I was reading your bio, 10 to 15 deals a month, listings a month. How did you get your real estate business to that level? How long did it take? What was that journey like for you?
I think it's like a lot of people. You start out, you do a dozen sales, and then the next year you do 20, and then you get up to 35, and you go woo woo. Then you get to 47. It took me a couple decades to be an overnight sensation. So
I love that, and that was key right there. It took him a couple of decades to be an overnight sensation.
Yeah. After about 6-7 years, though, I'd picked up my stride. So
yeah, and that's totally true. A lot of people don't know that I've been in the business over 10 years now, and I still have people think that I just popped out of nowhere yesterday. But it's like that. It's truly like that, and it's a journey. So how would you say that journey was for you? Was it difficult? Was it what you thought it was going to be?
It was difficult. Yeah, you're right. You have to have an unshakable vision. So it's the mindset piece. And if you have an unshakable vision that nobody else can talk you out of, and Jason, you know that all too well. That all too well. I followed, Pythagoras. Remember Pythagoras?
Mm-hmm.
He was, I think he was a realtor in old Greece, I think. He said, take the road that's best, no matter how rough, and soon it becomes easy and agreeable. So, it just, it's not fun the first time, then it gets a little easier, and pretty soon, like, you're the best at it. So,
yeah, for sure. When we're building businesses, there's a lot of things that, well, for me, I can speak definitely for me. There were so many things that as my business grew that I never received training for, right? So for example, I expanded my business some years ago into a team, and we got our own office space. And then I was having to learn more of the CEO side of the business, which I felt like was quite different from the realtor side of, just helping clients, unlocking doors, going on appointments. Right now I'm managing people and a different set of bills, and I acquired a different skill set for just business overall. Now in your career, you're the CEO of Vulcan 7. Do you feel like your real estate agent business prepared you for that, or gave you skills for taking on that kind of role?
Yeah, I think so. And you are quite a role model for a lot of people, and you have a real gift. I got to tell you. but yeah, I think it prepared me because, that's how Vulcan 7 evolved. I got frustrated on not being able to reach sellers. And so out of that frustration was born the idea to build a platform that helped real estate agents reach sellers that needed their help. Because sometimes it's, you just can't get them, you can't reach them, you can't have a conversation with them. We make it real easy to do that. So it was, that's where this thing started.
Yeah. So you found a need or a problem even within your own business and was able to now provide a solution to the market.
Right. Yeah. Find a problem and then, find a problem, a solution to a problem, and then get in the way. So yeah, there we go.
Then get in the way. Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk early on. Early on, you at Vulcan 7, obviously you see a need, you see a problem. What was that journey of building like and of creating something like this?
Right. Well, yeah. It's sort of like, and I remember being in a seminar and somebody was saying, they had everybody close their eyes and said, imagine you got in this helicopter and you flew over the area where you sell a lot of homes, and all the homes where they're having conversations about selling it turned green. You need to go out and find those greenhouses. You need to find those people. So I was like, I found that if I went online, I could find 90% of people by hand. And I thought, I can automate this. And then as real estate agents, we're great if we can at least be talking to the right people. But it was getting harder and harder and harder and harder to have conversations with somebody that needed our help. So if I could bridge that gap. So that's where that came from.
Nice. Did you have any, well, obviously you had experience in finding people's contact information.
Right. By hand. Yeah. I mean, I had all these places I'd look, and I could literally find 90% of the people and get them on the phone. 90%. And I'm like, this can be automated. And we did. So
yeah. Funny thing with that. I mean, that's how I got my first pieces of business in real estate. I was calling for sell by owners, but I couldn't afford a software or a platform at that time. So I had to learn how to do it by hand. I was literally going in our MLS, then matching the tax records, for a name. Then I was going in whitepages.com. I think it was whitepages.com at the time, trying to look up the numbers. And this wasn't like a published cell phone number site. Spokio ended up coming along, but White Pages, it was mostly landlines when a lot of people had landlines. And then you start making these methods and strategies of, okay, if it's a landline, they're probably at work, so I'm going to call before they go to work or either after they go to work. And that's how I learned how to do it until I could get to a point where, I could get something more handed to me. So I think it's a major treat, to have something like that. And I'm thankful for systems and platforms like that.
I mean, that's awesome, Chasen. Yeah, I mean, listen, folks, Chasen doesn't let anything get in his way. He's like, for sale owners have a home for sale and no real estate agent. If I can talk to them, I can list them and sell them. You don't let anything get in your way, do you?
No, I mean,
that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And if that's automated, then that makes it 10 times easier. But
yeah. So did you have prior knowledge of, platforms, softwares, things like that? I guess what I'm trying to get to is because obviously you saw a need, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't write code. I just flow charted it for engineers who wrote the code out.
See, and that's the key right there.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody has ideas and everybody wants to do great things, including myself. And the magic of this is you don't have to know A to Z, right? You don't have to know it.
But you have to be persistent. You are, clearly. You have to have an unshakable vision. On Monday, you hold the vision. Tuesday, hold the vision. On Wednesday, you can't just go, oh, I'll never be able to do that. You have to have an unshakable vision 95, 98% of the time. Then the outside world will conform to your inner thoughts. I mean, you're a prime example of that, Jason.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I definitely,
mindset is most of the battle here, and then we have to be in action, because sometimes we have the right mindset, but we're dreamers. We never take the steps. You have to at least be in some kind of action every day.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How do you keep your mind strong, when it's maybe something you don't know how to do, or it's a challenge you didn't anticipate, or, how do you keep your mind strong?
I can't say never, because I watch a little bit of business news, 9:30 to 9:45, but I never watch news. But I do pour in all these great thoughts of all these great ideas. I love to follow Elon Musk. I love to see what he's up to and what he's thinking, because all that stuff just came out. Well, you just have to have a belief system. And you know what? So who did Elon Musk follow? He followed Henry Ford, and Ford did okay. I mean, because Elon Musk tells this story about Henry Ford. He goes, he was building the cars, and back then there were all these naysayers, people going, well, these horseless carriages, these automobiles will never replace horses, because there's grass everywhere, and for horses to eat, where are you going to get gasoline? And so the same thing's happening with electric cars now. They're like, whoa, these electric cars, where are you going to charge them up on a trip? So that time's like this time. So you just have to have an unshakable belief and a vision, and it'll happen. And he's a manifester, kind of like you are.
Yes. Oh, and that's definitely a topic for a different day. I mean, just
manifesting, making stuff happen. Jason, you're always making stuff happen. It's a topic for every day.
Yes. I mean, I know the power in it. And so let's fast forward. Here we are today, right? And you all have a great business, a great platform company. Where do you at this point look for more inspiration to, let's say, add something, or enhance what you already offer? Like, you already have a great product, but I know, because of even the newsletters I receive, new enhancements or new training or this and that. Like, where do you go and look for that stuff? I mean,
if you're standing still, you're going to fail. I mean, we saw Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix, and they turned it down. Like, oh no, these videos, DVDs will be around forever. And they've turned that. You have to keep moving forward. Most of our energy is being put in the AI piece, because right now, as you know, you can go and circle in an area of town and pull up 1,000 homes, then hit a button and say who's going to move next, and then the 4 to 8 times likely group of people to move will show up, and that out of that 1,000, it'll drop down to about, say, 142 people. 442 homes. These are 4 to 8 times more likely to put their home on the market than the rest. And then you can say, of those, how many of them? Now I want only the ones that don't live in the house, that are actually live in some other area. Now it drops down to 37 people. You have all these AI tools on there. I wanted all the notice of defaults. So AI is a big piece, so that we can be a lot more efficient. So that we're continuing to move in the AI space, so that when you're talking to sellers, you're not wasting a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Keeping up with changes,
Right. Right. Every few months, we've got to, we have to be a leader. People say, are you watching what your competitors are doing? We don't even take a peek.
Yeah.
But they sure watch us.
yeah. And I think that goes to not settling, or not becoming just content, always leveling up, always striving to be the best, even if you feel like you're the best already, always
Well, I mean, you can only do an end zone dance for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You only get 20 seconds of that. That's it. Tops.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And right quick before we wrap up here, how did you get into coaching? Like what was that experience and journey like?
Oh, I mean, I was selling a lot of homes, and then I got a call. I got a phone call from a very recognizable major coaching company, and they said, you're really successful. Would you be open to coaching some agents in your dead time of the day, say between 1 and 2 o'clock every day? And I said, sure. It kind of happened.
Nice, nice. And you've coached a lot of people, and I'm sure you've taken a lot of people to success.
Yeah, that was fun. When you're coaching, you end up being it strengthens you. It's huge how that is, and you're probably noticing the same thing. You're helping a lot of people, and that strengthens you. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes, yes, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Well, I definitely appreciate all that you've shared, and for everyone listening or watching, this is another example of someone who was an agent and a successful agent. You didn't have the easiest journey. We all face difficulties building a business, but started out with that same license that you and I have, and decided to fulfill other needs within the market. Coaching and having an amazing platform for solving a problem that I've personally had experience in facing, and they've made life a lot easier, and so this is a journey, right? It's a journey. It took time, but it's possible. Not limiting yourself, expanding your mind, and being able to take advantage of opportunities, right? So I for sure appreciate you sharing everything that you've shared. I'll have Ren's information down in the show notes and in the comments, so that way you can check out Vulcan 7. And I mean, I think that you'll be pleasantly pleased by what they offer, especially if you are one that has a goal like similar to what he was doing, 10 to 15 listings a month. Amazing,
Yeah.
So
it's more fun on the listing side of the business. You have money and the time to enjoy it.
yes,
If
yes.
if you're working buyers, I mean, that's nights and weekends. This is Monday through Friday, daytime.
For sure. I love it. All right, everyone. So thank you again. This is the Power Unit Success Cast, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. When we're building businesses, there's a lot of things that